Hi there makers, it is Jo here, and today I'm adding to our pocket series. So there's lots of videos called pockets on our playlist. You can search it in the search bar at the top of our YouTube channel. And today I'm adding a particular type of patch pocket, which is the Kangaroo Pocket. You'll see it mostly on sportswear, leisurewear, loungewear. It's the pocket where you can put both hands in, relax your elbows and keep your hands safe. It's like a kind of muff for your own sweatshirt. You can have a kangaroo pocket that's split with a zip, or you can have one that runs right across the front of your sweatshirt. You don't have to pick a pattern with one on. You can add one to lots of your existing patterns. So it's a great one to make your own pattern piece for. I'm not going to draft one. The best way to draft a pocket for the front of an existing pattern is to cut a piece of scrap fabric or a piece of tissue paper and pin it onto your sweatshirt, and then see if you like the size. Then you'll add a seam allowance so that your pocket will remain the shape you thought it would be. Today I'm wearing a Sew House 7 toaster. This is the one with the little crush neck, which I really like. It's in a sweater knit. I've added a cuff detail here, and this is an ideal pattern for hacking out a kangaroo pocket. In today's video, you'll see me making a pocket in a textured knit, which is a quilted fabric but with a jersey finish. It's really soft and pliable, and it's perfect for sweatshirts and hoodies. The pattern I'm using is a little bit of an unusual one because it's for a woven pattern, but I've changed it to a stretch pattern. So I'm not recommending today's pattern. It's just something that I was making, and I thought, oh, I'll show you a kangaroo pocket. This is my basic kangaroo shape for today. Yours could be different. You can draft whatever you want. So I've drafted a straight edge, and that's where my hands are going to go in. You could have this curved. You could have a trim on here. So you could cut out a strip 2 inches wide. So you would have a 1 inch binding along the edge of your pocket. That could be in a tubular rib, a stretchy velvet, a cotton jersey fabric. It will really change up the style of your hoodie, so it depends what overall style your sweatshirt is. Mine's quite a slouchy style. It's made in this fabric, which I'm using in 2 tones. So this is my top, and this will be the pocket on the front. If you're not adding the bindings along here, then you'll probably need some way to stabilize that edge. If you've cut across the grain of the fabric, you don't want your pockets to go all ripply and bag out. So I'm going to add a stabilizer to the back of here. If you are drafting your own pocket for a sweatshirt that doesn't have a pocket, so for example, Page hoodie, the Jarrah sweatshirt, the Billy sweatshirt, the Sew House 7 toaster, you could hack a kangaroo pocket to go on any of those. It's a good idea to draw your shape on a piece of paper and cut it out, pin it to the front of your sweatshirt or a sweatshirt that you own, so that you can get the proportions of your pocket correct. You don't want it to be too big, and worst of all is a kangaroo pocket that is too small. You might also consider where your pocket is going, which sounds a bit obvious because it's going to go at the bottom of your sweatshirt, but I've got a cut yoke line here. So I want to think about, am I going to sew my pocket on separately and individually, or am I going to absorb that top seam line in this seam line here? And that is what I'm going to do, because that will really secure the top of my pocket. So I've made sure that the rest of the pocket is drafted to fit the rest of the top. If you're following a pattern, you won't have to do these kinds of things, but if you're adding a pocket to an existing pattern, you'll want to make sure that the construction will all come together. You can use a couple of different products to stabilise the hand edge. So you can either be binding that edge, which will give you some added strength, or if you're not binding it, you're just folding it over and top stitching, then you can add an edge tape or a hemming web. Both of those things will help to stabilise the pocket, and it will also help you to sew it so you don't get a ripply edge. This has got a stay stitch running through it, so it's really secure, and it's a piece of interfacing, so it's got a gluey side on the back, and I'm going to press those into position. Once you've stabilised the edge, you can also finish it. So I've used an overlocker, but you could use an overcast stitch. It depends on your fabric type. I'm getting a little bit of fray with this because I've got some wadding in the middle. So I've used an overlocker, but you can just zigzag. Most stretch fabrics don't fray. You want this turn over here to be really generous. So mine is 1 inch because that's the width of my seam tape. So that's giving me a really nice guide. You don't want this to be skimpy because when you have the pocket, you don't want it to be revealing any stitching here. It's a good idea to make all of your seam allowances on your Kangaroo Pocket very generous because that will help you to apply it. You don't want to have a small seam allowance that you're really struggling to keep the edge under. You want to make sure that the finish that you get on your finished top is really clean and there's some really good straight lines without having to try and manipulate a very small seam allowance. I don't need to deal with the top because that's going to be absorbed in my yoke line, which I showed you before, but if not, you might choose to put some stay tape here or something, a strip of interfacing offcut to secure the top edge. Again, same with the bottom. Think about what's happening on the bottom hem of your top. Are you adding a band? Are you adding ribbing? Are you having just a straight sewn edge? So you'll need to think about that when you draft your shape. It's at this point now, before you put anything onto another piece, that you do anything else that you want to do to your pocket. So any kind of applique, or if you want to add a label, you need to do that now before you put it onto your top. The other thing you need to do before you start manipulating this onto your top is to find the centre, and that will ensure that your Kangaroo Pocket is centred onto your jumper and it's not skew-iff. If you've got a pattern that has a Kangaroo Pocket, you'll probably have notches to follow. The first thing to sew into your machine is the hand opening. And you can choose here, you can use a cover stitch machine, you can do a twin needle sew. I've just kept a simple straight line because I've already got all the other lines in my quilting fabric. Next up, you're going to use all the centre markings that you made before so that you can match up your pocket. If you need to turn that under, then you do that at this stage as well. If your top continues, I've obviously only got the lower part of my sweatshirt. Using the pin at the bottom as well to make sure that I have matched up the centre point. And then I can pin the rest of the Kangaroo Pocket in place with my turnover. So this has all been neatly folded under. I've got that large seam allowance, which means that I'm not in danger of any of this peeping out or becoming distorted. I'm using a marking on my fabric to make sure that the pockets end in the same place. And I'm going to stitch these on. I'm going to stitch them the same, top stitching, but I'm going to put a little bar tack at the top of here and here, because when I'm wearing it, that will be the point under most pressure. At this pressure point on the pocket, I'm on a zigzag stitch, but with no stitch length at all, so the feed dogs won't travel the fabric along, it will just keep going in the same place. And I'm going to make my bar tack 3.5 or 4 wide. So I've got a bar tack, now I can go to my straight stitch and continue down the seam. Now I've got my pocket in position. This is really stable. This is absorbed in the seam. You can do some pattern matching there if you want to. I'm just sampling up this sweatshirt. And if you've got a hemband or ribbing, then that would be absorbed in this lower seam. You could, of course, turn that out. If you've got a straight front to your sweatshirt, then you could have turned that one down and top stitched along here. Some people do 2 rows to make it nice and stable, and bar tacks at the top and the bottom will really secure your pocket. You can see there a little bit of extra security, and then it's sewn down. This one has a straight hem because I'm going to put a couple of eyelets here, and it has an elastic pulling through. You can make up the rest of your sweatshirt as the pattern, and the kangaroo pocket will be in the correct position, especially if you pinned it before you did your draft. If you're making children's wear, then kangaroo pockets are really popular. You can keep your little treasures in them, and those are the ones that you tend to have more with a bound edge, because if you've got a curved edge to your pocket, it's difficult to hem that, so you'll need to add some kind of binding. This is my mini kangaroo pocket, so I've made a little small sample. It's on a smaller scale, and you can use the same fabric to bind this edge, but I thought it would be easier if I showed you in a different colour. So this is a rib knit, so you can use a tubular rib, you can use the same fabric, but you want to make sure that the stretch is going along the length of your pocket. If you don't, your pocket edge will flare forwards. It's just like if you're putting on a neckband. So you fold your fabric wrong sides together. I'm going to pin it in the middle first. I'm using ballpoint needles today because I've got a couple of stretchy fabrics. And what you want to do is add a little tension to the binding only. So give it a little stretch, and then use your fingers to not stretch the pocket. If you stretch the pocket opening, again, you'll have that flaring and you won't have this curved edge being brought in. So pin it from the centre out. It's the same ratio as a neckband, so you want it to be about 10% shorter than the pocket opening. I've just cut an extra piece and then I'll adjust at the end. You could do the same. You could make a generous piece, and then when you sew it, cut it off, and then you know you're not going to be short or overstretching it. I'm going to sew this on, flip it over, and you'll see the effect. With a curved edge, depending on how much stretch you've added, so this one I added more stretch, this one not enough, and you can see it kicking up and being a little bit uneven. And then you can either finish the back with an overlock, or you can add rows of top stitching. All of your pocket edge details need to be done before you do anything else, and then you can turn under your edges. If you're using a stretch fabric, which is probably the case for a kangaroo pocket, you can add a stabilizer and go back to the edge tape or the hemming web. Or you can tack this all together so that all the edges are under, and then you can concentrate on putting it evenly onto your garment. As with all patch pockets, whether they're kangaroo or square shaped, you can't sew it square. So if it's not square to start with, you need to sort it out at this point, and I can just see that's kicking up a little bit. So I want to pin that, maybe just turn that under a little bit. Sewing it won't make it right. I need to get it correct in the first place. I hope that video has helped you out today, and if you've got a sweatshirt already and you'd like to do a little experiment, then there are a few tips there to get you on your way. We would love to see what you have been making over on our website, so you can make a free account there, share your makes, tag your pattern so everyone can see what you have been up to. It really is inspirational for everyone that visits. We love to see what everyone has been making, and you can also check out other Minerva makers and be inspired by their makes too. Thank you very much for watching, and do call in for more of the pocket series and any other of our playlists. They're all over on the YouTube channel. They're split into different categories. You can use the search bar at the top to find the thing that you're looking for. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. So until then, bye bye.